I've been going to a lot of networking events since moving to Portland. 5 months in, and I keep having the same conversation. I'll meet a business owner, smart, driven, clearly knows what they're doing. And right before we wrap up, they'll say something like, I know exactly what I need to do. I just need more time. Must be so nice for these bigger companies to be able to step back whenever they want to. And I always think to myself, the problem isn't time. The problem is what you believe is possible for you. Because here's the thing, if you've already decided that business growth is going to take 10 years, you will take 12. Whatever you believe you can have, you will create. And whatever it is that you don't believe you can have, you will never build. This is exactly how your nervous system works. It's not because the resources aren't there. It's not because the strategy doesn't exist. It's because if your body doesn't feel safe, if your body doesn't feel ready handling more, it will never help you achieve more. Your revenue ceiling, the quality of your relationships, even the body you're walking around in, they are all downstream from your beliefs, not your strategy, your beliefs. So before we talk about systems, before we talk about hiring, before we talk about lead gen, before all of it, I want to ask you something and I want you to actually sit with it. Can you even picture a version of your life where you're not constantly working in your business? Not just imagining it as a someday fantasy, but actually seeing it, feeling it, and believing that it is actually available to you. If that question made you uncomfortable, stay with me. Because what I'm about to walk you through isn't a business strategy. It's actually an uncoupling of sorts. Most business owners that I work with have actually built a cage around their business. But what they don't realize is that that cage that they've built actually existed in their mind first. If you've been working 80 hours for 6 years, that's no longer a business system problem. That's a nervous system problem. That's an identity problem. The system's not being there yet after 6 years is a symptom of something else. And that something else is the belief system that causes it. One of the most common beliefs that I hear, especially from people who are really good at what they do, is that systemizing their business will make it feel cheap. And they'll immediately jump into the McDonald's example. And look, I get it. McDonald's isn't exactly the gold standard for craft. But think about why McDonald's is actually still here. 50,000 locations, billions of customers. It's not because the food is transcendent, okay? It's because when you walk into a McDonald's anywhere in the world, it's consistent. You know exactly what it is that you're getting. The fries are cooked for the same amount of time. The burgers are assembled exactly the same way. They come in pre-cut in the exact same size and weight. That level of consistency actually isn't possible unless someone took the care and the time that it takes to actually pay attention to these little details in their business. And then taking those details and building a customer experience around it. Building it in a way that's so simplified that any high schooler that walks into a McDonald's can do the job. So here's a reframe I really want you to think about. Systemizing your business doesn't actually make it less authentic. They actually free you to become more like yourself. Right now, if you're making every single decision, if you're building every single slide deck, if you're doing every single piece of outreach, what are you not doing? That's really the question that I want you to think about. Not everything that you have to do, but what are you not doing because you're making all of these decisions? When I ask my clients this, almost everyone gives me the same answers. I'm not serving my clients better. I'm not spending more time with my family. I'm not improving my health. I'm not coming up with more innovative ways to offer my services to different demographics of people. So systemizing your business actually gives you the capacity to become more of who you actually are. That's not selling out. That's scaling up your impact. So let me give you the questions to chew on so that you can surface any kind of beliefs that are hanging out underneath there. Who in your life taught you that big businesses are cheap or inauthentic? Where have you attached your sense of value to how hard you work? Who would you have to become to run something bigger and easier? And does that feel safe in your body? What relationships are you afraid might change if you got to your next level of wealth? And think about that last one especially. Don't skip that one. Now, the second part that I'm about to run you through is something that I feel like not a lot of people talk about enough when it comes to focusing on your business growth. If you genuinely have a good reason for building your business, it won't feel like suffering. Not every day. I'm not promising that. But the through line in all of the work that you do won't feel like a grind. If it does, you don't need a better strategy. You need to change your relationship to work itself. Showing up consistently, especially when everyone around you has no idea what it is that you're working on, takes a special kind of belief. You have to be pointed at something that actually means something to you. Not just your revenue goal, but what it is that you're doing after you attain the money that you're looking for. For me, when I started my business, it had nothing to do with money. The real reason why I started my business is because I wanted to see what it would make of me. If you show up to something consistently every single day, there's no way that it wouldn't change you. If you went to the gym every day, your body is going to change, even if you don't have the perfect workout. And so anticipating who I would become was worth showing up to this business every single day before I even made a penny. So the part of this journey that has really given me consistent joy outside of serving people who really need the work that I am teaching and providing is just watching the person that I grow into. So I want to ask you, why are you building what you're building? And why aren't you further along than you'd like to be? Is it because some part of you doesn't actually love what they're doing? Or maybe there's a part of your business that you actually really love doing, but you're underinvesting in it. If your honest answers to these questions are bleak, and sometimes they are, then it may be time to exit or hand off your responsibilities to someone who can care about it a little bit more than you. And that doesn't necessarily say anything bad about you, but you now have a whole team that's relying on your business to be successful. And if it's sucking the life out of you, then you need to do something about it instead of just living in that suffering. Suffering through a business that you've outgrown is not noble. It's actually really expensive. But if there's something in your business here that matters, and you're just a little foggy or clouded on the vision, then all you have to do is get back into alignment with it. That's what we do. That's the real work. And then the last thing I want you to think about in order to attain more business freedom is this. How prepared are you for overflow? Here's something your brain is doing right now that you may not realize. Your nervous system is constantly running a background prediction, and it's supposed to. Am I prepared for what's coming? And your brain and your nervous system does not relax until it feels like the answer is yes. Think about checking the weather before a big outdoor event. If you know it's going to rain and you have an umbrella on you, then you stop checking. The threat is neutralized. But if you don't have one, your mind will constantly be wondering when you have to leave. You're going to be checking the weather app constantly to see if the weather predictions have changed. And even if you're mid-conversation with someone, your subconscious will constantly be running that question in the background. Am I prepared for rain? Now, apply this to your business. Imagine that you had 1,000 leads come in and 800 of them wanted to work with you. I know that conversion rate is really high, but just work with me here. Imagine it with me. Could your systems actually handle that? Is there a clear, repeatable path for someone to move through your lead, sales, and delivery system without you being there to hold their hand all the way through that process? And if you did get 1,000 leads and someone did move through your current lead, sales, and delivery system, could they move through all of this without damaging your brand from slow responses or just poor delivery? If you can't confidently answer yes, then that's the reason why you're playing small. It's not conscious, but your nervous system knows. It knows you're not ready, so it keeps you from fully promoting, from fully believing, and fully selling. Because somewhere inside, it's keeping you safe from the chaos that overflow would cause. And playing small feels safer than being exposed. When you genuinely trust what you've built, when your business can handle the rain from our earlier metaphor, then everything changes. You stop hedging in your sales conversations. You stop shrinking in your content. You become someone who cannot stop talking about what they do. Not because you're performing, but you actually believe both in your transformation and the systems that you have in place. Preparation doesn't just create capacity, it also creates your belief. And belief is actually what moves everything, not your strategy. So here's what I want to leave you with. If you feel trapped by your business, if you've told yourself that you need more time, more hustle, more grind, I want you to try something this week. Just one. Pick one belief you're carrying about what's possible for you and ask yourself this: where did that come from? Is it actually true, or is it a story I've inherited from my family or even just old colleagues that you used to talk shop with? Because the roadmap to business freedom exists. It really does. The strategies are out there. The people who can help you are out there. The only thing that actually determines whether you get there is if you give yourself permission to believe that business freedom is available to you. The answers aren't the problem. The permission is. So what I want you to do is stop seeking answers and start uncovering where you don't have permission.